Zach Cornfeder, open up at once.
And he knocked 4 more times. When he got no response, he shouted a chilling command.
Come out now, with your hands on your head, or we're coming in after you.
Backing up the commissar's demand were 6 heavily armed soldiers with Red Star armbands. When Mayor Ralph Kronenwetter, still in his robe, pajamas, and slippers, finally answered his door, 2 of them dragged the middle-aged man out across his porch and down into the snowy street. Spring in Mosney was in no hurry, the air chill, the trees skeletal. Eyes wide in a doughy round face, his thinning hair askew, the startled mayor listened as Cornfeder informed the enemy of the state that his town had been taken over by the Council of People's Commissars.
Mosney, Wisconsin,
Cornfeder decried ominously, a cigarette dangling, gangster style,
is now part of the United Soviet States of America.
As 2 armed men dragged his honor along, the commissar led his squad of invaders on foot to the police station, where they stormed in and yanked Chief Carl Gewis away from his desk to deposit him in one of his own cells. A shouted third-degree interrogation began, conducted by a club and knife-wielding pair in dark fedoras and matching overcoats. Following this, the Mosney Weekly Times was similarly stormed, its editor arrested and informed his paper would henceforth be known as the Red Star. By noon, an edition would be on the streets with Stalin's picture sharing the front page with a communist manifesto and a list of regulations, courtesy of the new regime. Quickly, the commissar and his bully boys took over the public utilities and then did the same with the town's chief industry, the paper mill, where a sign was hung above the double doors saying, "Nationalized, operated by authority of the Council of People's Commissars." Gradually, wide-eyed citizens in winter apparel, topcoats, plaid hunting jackets, hats, gloves, filled the sidewalks, taking all this in, eventually spilling into Main Street. When enough gawkers had gathered to form a crowd, the quasi-military strangers with rifles and Red Star armbands herded the good people of Mosney into the village park, which they were stridently informed had been renamed Red Square. Here a platform had been erected overnight, above which hung a banner that said, "One party, one leader, one nation." The citizens watched dumbfounded as the compact commissar, looking like a cruel caricature of James Cagney, stepped up onto the platform to a waiting microphone.
The United Soviet States of America,
the amplified gravel voice intoned, the eyes behind the round lens glasses as cold as the morning,
is nationalizing all industry. In addition, all political parties are now abolished, with the exception of the Communist Party. All civic organizations are disbanded as well. All religion is forbidden. All churches to be confiscated as representing an institution against the working class. Hereafter you will live in an atheistic world, your minds unclouded by superstition.
Here and there, citizens protested, only to be arrested and marched into a large vacant lot that had been transformed by barbed wire into a concentration camp. Adjacent was the American Legion Hall, where a banner read, "Commissariat of USSA Information." As the day progressed, this concentration camp would grow to include the rounded-up likes of nuns from the Catholic school, local clergymen, and paper mill executives. But right now it was only 10:15 a.m., and the fun was just beginning. Up on the platform, the squat commissar announced that rationing was now in effect, and that restaurants would be serving black bread and potato soup only. For those who could not afford that, an outdoor soup kitchen would be available.
Those of you who do not cooperate will be assigned to slave labor camps,
Cornfeder said, almost casual now in his recitation of atrocities. Finally, gray-faced Mayor Kronenwetter was dragged up onto the stage at gunpoint. Still in his robe and pajamas, his honor at the microphone rather pitifully read to the captive audience a prepared statement.
Police Chief Gewis has been liquidated for failure to cooperate. I now urge all citizens to comply with the new socialist order.
Throughout the day, most Mosnians did comply, having been issued ration permits for food and gasoline, as well as Red Star lapel pins to signify their cooperation with the new regime. Anyone not willing to wear the lapel pin would be marched to the concentration camp. Midday, an enforced parade was held with signs provided saying, "The Communist Party is..."